city. For the most part, our guys are doing a pretty good job, but we miss them. I admit, and you know, when I rely on everyone, call us. If you see something, you're like, something's not right with that, what's going on, call, and you know, we'll make sure we get someone out to address.
I have a few points on that, but nothing crazy, you know, that I will be discussing.
Yes, no, that's fine. I will add one thing that is good. I'm going to talk about more of the state of the city, but we reinstituted a traffic unit detail in mid-April, and you know, focus on those we know areas, right, that are prone for people running a stop sign or speeding or parking, and they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. I think that unit, don't hold me to the number, but I think in the first 3 months they issued over 100 citations almost. So it's proven to be effective. Can't get them all. And I'd like to bang my head against it. There was one lady, she literally didn't even stop at Ellenwood. I went right through the stop sign. And I had someone video it, and they shared it. We put out a special attention that next morning, gave her a ticket. And the next morning on our way to work, did the same thing. And it's like,
I remember saying someone, I remember saying someone a couple of years ago did something like that, you know.
It's like,
you know,
I'm like, you just got a ticket 18 hours before. Like, come on, help us out. Like,
I remember you citing somebody said, oh, this person, you know, did the same thing again.
Hang on. What's happening?
Okay, hey.
oh, good.
Hey,
I'll talk to
you
you.
know, but please bring that up, that unit has made some improvements. I think, you know, touch on this,
Okay, I will.
Just curious, I like to let people know we're straight here. It's just get us silly.
You got it. Thank you.
Right now, they want to. I'd like people to know as they go recording. It's like when you're on speakerphone and people don't know. Yeah, I always tell everyone who can hear you when you're on a speakerphone, so you don't say the wrong thing.
Oh.
sleeping again.
Well, I could too, but nobody listens.
Oh, no,
Hmm?
I know that. I had that tree sitting in the yard and I was on the corner of Innis.
Mhm.
It's been 2 months now. They can't track down the owner.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a rental.
Oh,
The leaves are dry and the rest of it is leaning over all the utility wires. It'll end up on Innis.
well, can't the
It's
city
not
cut
gonna go
that down?
skeleton.
Whoever,
Hmm?
can't the power company cut that down? The branches?
They probably could if I called them. Because the one that's left is as big as the one that filled their front yard.
Oh.
But this is a journal property and you can't track them down. And I feel sorry for the people that are around the internet. Oh, this circus, the guys, they say, we're so embarrassed of this. So apparently they can't get them either.
You want to sit up there? Yeah.
Oh, hey, Chris, are you want me to move over?
You want to share? We can sit right here.
Here, let me move here.
Decent people, don't seem a whole lot, they're quiet, and she said, I'm here for it.
We gave him a mattress, he looks really shiny.
She said, the same is better than that. The studio,
Yes.
it's great.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, how are you?
It's the only one that
Oh,
says,
she's down,
and says,
she's going to town.
and it's awful. I said, how come everybody else? She was going on, it's on the Lord.
Oh, hi there. How are you? Good to see you.
I wish I could, but I haven't. I do these workshop things at Bedford for the Kids Hope program. At Central. So, yeah, and then I do a lot of stuff at outside. So we've got a little garden going on. We've got a thing.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
How
you been?
Good, good. You haven't seen me in a while.
Good, good.
You got a new pump or a new pumps inside? New pump. What's this beauty stuff?
Presley's.
Presley.
Finish this.
Well, I told you I had.
One of the best babysitters I ever had for my two boys, that and the Great Pyrenees. The Great Pyrenees, nowhere near it. Good to see you.
It's close to finding it. It's like,
Yes, yes. So you know, well, actually, American flag, you're just gonna stand straight up.
okay, so.
And you're gonna look, kind of to your right. Your left, yeah. Just look straight up. If you look straight up, you're just kind of.
So when I say.
Well, good to see you. How are you doing? Hey, Jay.
Yes.
Long time no see.
Nice to see you.
He's right there.
Okay, you're doing well. Okay, very good.
We're your like second, so you should get it in honor pretty quick. I don't think anybody had any questions. If they did, he's here, but a young man from the BZA.
Sure my phone's off.
We just,
Jennifer. Yeah, why don't you?
Asbury?
Saw him last week. Things are, all these things. It took him a step down, and I think he had one scheduled still, so when he has it done, it was like, actually, he was here last week, wasn't he last week?
All here. Good evening. Welcome to the August 4th meeting of, regular meeting of Bedford City Council. If you would please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, call roll, please.
Spinks? Here. Selby?
Here.
Fluharty?
Here.
Smith?
Here.
Asbury?
Here.
Longino?
Here.
Cochee?
Here. Council, you have the minutes of the work session of July 7th, 2025. Any corrections to that? Seeing none, can I have a motion for acceptance by Asbury, second by Longino? Call the roll, please.
Spinks? Here. Selby?
Abstain.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. And you have the minutes of the regular meeting of July 7th, 2025. Any corrections to those? Seeing none, I have a motion for acceptance by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Abstain.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Reports, Mr. City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items I just want to touch on. First is just a friendly reminder that the Ellenwood Center is going to be closed for approximately 2 weeks. It may be slightly over that, and that is going to begin on August 14th. That is for a number of improvements that we have scheduled, including the roof replacement on the gymnasium. One of the parking lots is going to be getting resurfaced, and then we have staff that are going to do a number of maintenance items and other upgrades to the interior of the facility. Any questions, concerns, feel free to call. Obviously, we'll respond accordingly and as quickly as possible, but I just wanted to make that announcement as a reminder. Also want to mention that we had a meeting with Enbridge, which is formerly Dominion East Ohio, and they are planning a main gas line replacement project, and that's going to be taking place starting this week on Pinecrest in Councilman Fluharty's ward. They did indicate that they had previously sent out some postcards, but we had also requested today that they put door hangers on the residents that will be along the affected areas so the public knows. I don't have a timeline on how long that will take, but again, like I said, it'll begin this week. I also want to mention that the staff, myself and other staff members, had a good meeting with the Ohio EPA last month. As you know, we've been talking about this for a couple of years, following our no feasible alternative study that we completed. We have to put together a long-term strategic plan for improvements to the wastewater treatment facility, as well as the collection system in the city. Our proposal extends decades longer than I think they would have anticipated or would like, but we associate that with rates, and we have to obviously be cautious and responsible with what we can afford as a community. So those discussions are ongoing. We expect to hear back from the Ohio EPA later in August, and we'll continue to report back to City Council when we can have some agreement on orders with them for a long-term strategic plan for necessary improvements. I also want to take a minute and commend our safety forces, specifically the police department. They really put a lot of time and effort into being proactive and planning in advance of our community events, especially our two largest community events, the Strawberry Festival and the Rotary's Rib Burn-Off. And I think we all know when you turn on a TV, there's a lot of challenges going on with community events, with church festivals. Most recently, last weekend, Summit County Fair, or that might have been 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry. We put a plan together in place, and it was very successful. And there was 0 incidents reported on the square during both of those events. I fielded a number of calls from individuals that were appreciative of that, and they said that, you know, especially the Rib Burn-Off, it was a family event. And kudos to our team and our staff for being proactive instead of being reactive. We hope that that'll set the tone moving forward with some of our large events in the city. And also, I just want to point out, I know I brought this up, but we are focusing on some of those challenging areas with our traffic patrol. As you recall, we reinstituted that unit in mid-April. We've combined that with the installation of 6 speed tables, and we are seeing an impact there in a positive way. Traffic unit focuses on, obviously, the stop signs, the street lights, speeding. We also use data from our speed sensors that we have that we locate and relocate throughout town. I think we're issuing over 100 citations since its reestablishment. So we are making improvements. We understand, we hear that from the community. And we'll continue to address those trouble areas in town. With that, I believe that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Law Director.
No report, just wanted to say thank you for coming and hope you're enjoying your summer. Thank you.
Madam Finance Director.
Thank you, Mayor. No report this evening.
Okay. Mrs. Spinks.
Good evening. This weekend, August the 9th, will be the Bedford Historical Society's flea market. It starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 4 p.m. If most people have already paid in advance, it was $20. You can show up the day of. It's $25 the day of a 10-foot spot. You can still call, though. I think they've kind of closed the events, but I think they might still do it till about, the museum will be open tomorrow at 10. I think you can still pay that advance fee up to probably Thursday or Friday. So that's coming up this weekend. That's always a good event. The Historical Society, that's another one of our small little fundraisers, and we have a lot of good stuff. We'll be in the, me and Lori Schroeder will be down in the basement with a lot of good finds. Also, big congratulations to a dear friend of mine, Jeff. This is in your business that's in your ward, but he's a dear friend of mine, David Ford, who just launched a big, he's a designer of eyewear, but he also designs clothing all over the world. And he just has a new line of golf apparel. And it's kind of cool because he calls me up, and Bob didn't model for him, but Bob's golf clubs did. So that was pretty cool. And Channel 8 News, he's pretty much on New Day Cleveland. He's been on there like 6 or 7 times in the last month or so. It's a good promotion for our city. He is a resident here. So that's those feel-good things of the smaller local businesses, supporting them. Also, Dot, you're going to like this. So there has been some spotted lanternflies in Bedford. So here is some information. These are a nasty little bug. They're kind of a cute little bug, spotted little bug, but they are deadly. They can do a lot of damage. So if you do see one of these little creatures, they're kind of black and have little white spots, can have a little red on them too. If you see them crawling around on your plants, you can go to Spotted Lantern Flies, allsmallcase.org, or you can also call 614-728-6400. They do want you, if people are starting to see they're doing kind of this case study, they do want you to call and report this so they can kind of keep an eye on where their habitats are the most. So I thought of you when I got that information sent to me, so that's pretty good. Big thank you to my early morning trash pickup little gang, my young kids that get out early Saturday morning and help me pick up trash pretty much every weekend. And also thank you to the residents that have stepped in, that are helping keep Ward 1 clean, with helping me clean up the trash. A lot of dead trees on tree lawns. Just please be patient. Our guys are kind of behind on doing a lot of stuff because there's so much going on. So I've been trying to keep up with that. A lot of limbs falling off, trying to pick those up and get those at least out of the street. So make sure you go down to the flea market and look out for those spotted lantern flies in the report.
Thank you. Mr. Selby.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. To begin, thank you to Heidi S. from the Lutheran Church of the Master for dropping off a get well card and bag of food after learning I had made a trip to the emergency room due to an unexpected illness which prevented me from attending the July council meeting. The get well package was very well appreciated. Resident visits and calls. Since the June council meeting, I visited Ward 2 residents as well as responded to resident phone inquiries. If you leave a voicemail, it is best not to do so using your speakerphone, as the messages often are hard to understand. And always please remember to leave your phone number so I can return your call. And at the moment, I do not have access to my email, so please call me instead. Examples of resident inquiries over the past month include after-hour activity at Taft Park, ongoing speeding in the area of the Columbus Road dip, requests for traffic tables on various streets in Ward 2, several landlord or residents failing to cut their high grass, request to add a no left turn signal signage for traffic exiting Giant Eagle on Northfield Road, and concerns about the collapsing stormwater basins in the ward. And ongoing complaints regarding dump trucks dropping dirt on Wenso Road. The dropped dirt in Wenso causes irritating clouds of dust which enters homes and muddies the roadway during rains. I understand dump trucks leak dirt on Wenso had been a resident complaint issue before I was even on council. And I suggest the appropriate city officials contact the business or businesses managing the delivery of dirt in and out of their Wenso Road facility and ask them to find a way to more completely secure their loads. I imagine there's already an ordinance which prohibits trucks from scattering dirt along public roadways. Some Wenso residents may be willing to attend this meeting, and the long-standing issue really needs to be brought to a conclusion one way or another. Out-of-town landlord LLCs. Many resident complaints have to do with properties in Bedford owned by local or out-of-town or even out-of-state owners. Some owners of real estate in Bedford also live in foreign countries. Although local property owners can cause nearby residents problems due to the failing to maintain their homes and yard or rent to individuals who engage in illegal or antisocial activities, it is easier for the city to enforce city ordinances and resolve resident complaints when the negligent property owners also live in or near Bedford. A trend I have experienced working at the law office downtown, as well as following up on citizen complaints about certain properties. It is out of county or state individuals or corporations buying up properties in Bedford and having no roots in the community, have little or no incentive other than profit, turning Bedford into a commodity with no thought about failing and maintaining their investment properties away to problem tenants, has a dramatic negative impact on other residents. As a result, more than a few homes in Bedford have and are being purchased by distant LLCs who sometimes have one primary interest: soak as much money out of the property and spend as little as possible to do maintenance and upkeep. These situations make it very labor intensive and costly for the city to track down the people behind the LLCs and speed up what is an already slow process of moving cases through the courts if the parties do not make corrections after being noticed by the city. If the city cannot find a way to overcome these roadblocks, we should ask our state legislative representatives to have the Legislative Service Commission research legislative options, which may include greater disclosure of the individuals behind one or more of the LLCs, including detailed contact information. I don't know if Mike or John want to comment about what the city legally can do to solve this problem, and can require more disclosure regarding the individuals who hide behind these LLCs, such as owners' names, addresses, so they can't hide behind the LLC corporation or statutory agents.
Mayor? Basically, the court has issued a memo saying what we can do in those situations. Basically, we have to try to contact the statutory agent first is the best choice to try to serve the corporation. If they're not available or it's difficult to find that individual, then you can serve the managing member or an officer of the company. But the defendant is the company for whatever reason. There's been case law on it. You can't sue the owners because of the LLC shield. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. But we are trying to be more aggressive, and the court is trying to accommodate us. And we are pursuing several people right now, in a matter of fact, in the court, and we will continue to do so.
Thank you, John. And there was a recent article, I think it was by the Plain Dealer, or what do they go by, a web address now, regarding this problem. Not only, and they didn't mention Bedford particularly, but a problem in Cauga County, especially the east side. But thank you, John. Taft Park, those of you who are not yet aware, Taft Park has reopened and the new playground equipment has been installed. Because of continued complaints about after-hour early morning visitors to Taft Park, I have resumed my daytime and late-night visits to the park. I believe I have only had to call the Bedford Police Department to check on the park once since June, although residents contacted me several times about recent unusual activities observed at the park. That being said, I want to give a big thank you to the city administration, council, and the Parks and Recreation staff for doing a good job and getting some new equipment, doing some renovation at the Taft Park playground. It's much better than it was. Bay Market, 506 Northfield. For those of you who don't routinely attend council meetings, this is an issue I have been consistently working on for the past year and a half. Just to get the Bay Market eyesore at 506 Northfield cleaned up. I attended the July 17th Bedford Municipal Court hearing regarding the property owner's ongoing citation regarding exterior issues with the building, retaining wall, trash containment, and the parking lot. This was the third continued hearing I've attended regarding this property. The next hearing is scheduled for Monday, August 11th. Lastly, Cleveland grass cutting, no access. Mike, when the city is scheduled to cut a property's grass as a result of the owner's failure to do so, what does it mean when the city staff return to say they didn't have access to the property? Is it because some physical barrier is blocking city equipment access to that high grass?
Correct, it could be either rear property, if it's corner property, if it's fenced in, we don't breach fence or anything like that, we can't do that. I can look at if there's a specific address in question, if you want to just give that to me afterwards. I could look into exactly what that would be. Most of the time, we'll be able to address like a front yard or something like that. Usually that means the portion of the property is fenced in and we don't breach a gate. Or I will say there's some instances where it is a small, like if it's a board-on-board fence and it's a very small opening, we literally can't get a large piece of equipment in there to do the job.
Thank you. Thank you, end of report.
Thank you. Mr. Fluharty.
Mayor. Mike, you need to get a hold of Kimball or have Clint or somebody. More and more, they're dumping their garbage in the middle of the street to put up in the back of the truck, and it's all over the street. They need to start cleaning it up. I came home the other day, last week, and there was 2 whiskey bottles just sitting right in the middle of the street that I know they dump their load in front of my house. They always do that anyhow. But they gotta pick up their mess. They can hear stuff like that, and they should be checking every time they dump. It don't hurt for them to go out the truck and just look around one time to make sure there isn't stuff laying around the streets, because we got enough garbage in our streets. We don't need their help. Because it's getting bad. They're not even looking at all. And I've noticed more and more of that. Also soliciting in the neighborhood, again, everybody needs to check. Make sure they have permits, because it's that time of year where you're getting more and more, it seems like energy companies and everybody else out here trying to get you a deal on stuff, and some of them are registered and some of them aren't. And also, it's hard to believe, but school starts. So everybody look out for the kids and the buses. They'll be flying them down the street pretty soon. And that's about it, then a report.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
All I have is, I just want to say, greetings to everyone. Welcome to the August 4th City Council meeting. Hope everyone is doing great. End of report.
Thank you. Mr. Hasberg.
All right, I got the public today. Chipper services this week for the month of August. Hopefully you got on the list. If not, next chipper service is September 1st. Make sure you call to get on the list. It is September 1st, even though it's Labor Day, right? That week.
The first full
Okay. Second, August 11th through 15th and 18th through 22nd is the Household Hazardous Waste Roundup and Computer Roundup at the Service Department. Hours are 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. for those 2 weeks. There will be no after-hour drop-offs. And they also added a Saturday from 9 to noon on September 23rd. Voice is a little raspy, so I'm going to try and speak a little louder. Wednesday, August 13th, 7 to 9, Risk Factor will be playing downtown on the square. They play a mixture of rock, pop, and rock, pop, and country music. And I believe this is the last concert for the year. So if the weather's good, bring a chair, come down and enjoy some music. The Cleveland Pagan Pride Festival is August 15th through 17th on the square. Admission is free, but they ask for 2 non-perishable food items to be donated, and all their benefits go to the Southeast Clergy Food Bank. And I believe over the last several years, they've donated over 2,000 pounds of non-perishables per year. So they're doing good work. If you can make it, stop down and give a donation. Residents on Palmetto and West Glendale, I'm going to read what you should have received from Vallejo Construction. If you haven't, it'll be coming soon. To the residents of West Glendale and Palmetto Avenue, Monday, August 11th, 2025, Vallejo Company will be performing road construction on West Glendale and Palmetto Avenue as part of the 2025 road program. Work is scheduled to be completed by mid-October. Traffic will be maintained. I'm sure it's going to be one direction because they're side streets. I don't think we know which direction first at this point, but this will be on Palmetto from Daisy down into the condos. That will all be replaced. and on West Glendale from Turney Road down to Satin Circle. That will be replaced. Tax holiday. Got another picture here. State of Ohio tax holiday started August 1st and runs through Thursday, August 14th. And this is available tax-free on items up to sales of goods that are $500 or less, except for certain watercraft, motor vehicles, alcoholic beverages, tobacco, vapor products, and items containing marijuana. So that runs till the 14th. We get a little break on taxes. Second to last, the citywide garage sale, September 13th, Saturday. Make sure you, the form to fill out the registration is free. Make sure you fill out the form, get on the list. The list of all the houses that are participating will be available at the water department on the Wednesday, I believe, prior to the sale. So get your applications in for the garage sale. And lastly, we have a new mural on the side of the building at Spirit Apotheosis. There will be an official unveiling this Thursday at 7 p.m. Presented by Match Girl Productions. It'll be in the municipal lot right next to Spirit Apotheosis. Music provided by Music in Motion, and pulled pork sandwiches will be on hand. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Longino.
I don't have as much as
Thank you.
Jeff, but, so I'll be brief. We talked about the end of the summer. That is crazy that the summer is almost over, but it is almost over. I was going to talk about the new Sunoco, but my man Omar is here, so he'll get up and say a few things later on, but I definitely I was going to mention the progress, but he'll say something about the progress that's going on with that right now, so, but happy to see it's going to be there and be ready to go soon. Last week I spent 7 days in Houston, Texas. I'm a track official, so I was there for the AAU Junior Olympics Nationals. And like I was telling them, it was funny because it was mostly 100 plus degrees there, and then some days it dropped to 90, and one day it dropped to 80, and they said it was a cold front coming through. And I said, I don't think you should ever use the word cold front with 80 degrees. But I bring that up besides the fact that I was officiating there. There were kids there from Bedford, so I wanted to mention. I was planning on mentioning all the ones that participated, but it was 23 kids, and because of time, I said I wouldn't do that, but I would mention a couple that did make All-American. India Charlton made All-American, third in 100, and it was nice because when she got finished running, I was right there, so I got to take a picture with her, hug her, and tell her congratulations. She doesn't live in Bedford, but she runs with the Bedford Sprint Masters. I'm sorry, I digress. The team I wanted to mention was the Bedford Sprint Masters. They practice here in Bedford, obviously, because that's their name. But I wanted to talk, like I said, they had 23 kids participate that were there in Houston, Texas. And out of that 23, 2 were All-Americans. Trevion Johnson was he took 5th in the long jump. He was 14 years old. So, but to be out there in that heat and participate is outstanding for those kids, and it's great. If you were out there, it was a total of 13,000 participants there from the ages 8 and under all the way up to 18. So it was a great experience. And like I said, to know that our kids here from Bedford were down there running against those kids from Texas and all over the country were pretty great. So I definitely wanted to give them their shout outs. Besides that, I didn't have much else to go today except take care of your yards. The summer is over. A couple of neighbors complaining to me about some of their neighbors' yards and still not taking care of them at this point. Let's just keep pride in our homes and our yards and be happy for where we live. Like we are in a great community. With that, I yield my time.
Thank you. One other thing of note, finally on Northfield Road Bridge, they're painting the metal side curbs, whatever you want to call them. And it's taken a long time. There's a lot more work than I thought it would be to grind it down and repaint, prime it and paint it, but the parts that are done is making that bridge look good, and finally, after how long we were after them to get the bridge done, so kudos to the state for finally getting on that. And Mike, I wanted to have a meet up with the police chief and the Rotary and the Historical Society to go over the security measures to learn from what we had this past summer at those events. And And also give them our appreciation, that the police did a great job down there. And with that, let's move on to new business. Get a motion, John.
Yes, sir, will someone make a motion to authorize the law director, myself, and the clerk of council, Ms. Simons, to act on behalf of the city council members of the city of Bedford for the public records training and the Ohio Sunshine Law requirement that we have to assign someone to stay on top of these things. And can we get a motion to that effect?
By Spink, second by Fluharty. This is just a yes, no.
Yes, sir.
Call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Selby.
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Motion,
Yes, can we get a motion to accept the Board of Zoning Appeals decision to allow Yusuf, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, Yusuf's Confar to erect a sign larger than permitted at 400 Northfield Road, which is the new Sunoco the councilman was alluding to in Bedford, Ohio. We do have Omar here as a representative of that company. And I think he'll tell you that they're planning to open in the very near future, and the sign is the last piece to the puzzle, correct, sir? If you want to come up and say just a couple of quick words, you don't have to talk too long, just give an update. It's the old Gitco, for those of you that may not be aware of it, but go ahead.
Yeah, so we're making good progress with the former Gecko site, and this was a variance to allow the new pole sign of 25 foot, which was the former Gecko sign, and that should be 6 to 8 weeks out, but hopefully the parking lot should be resurfaced in the next couple of weeks, and we're getting close, so hopefully once we get open, we'll have a nice grand opening. And wanted to say the residents, the city of Bedford has been fantastic with helping us out, and being more than happy to help and assist however way they can. So we're really appreciative of it, and we're really excited to get going and get open. So
good, because that'll answer a lot of questions we've had for years of what's going on down there. So thank you for getting that open.
no problem.
I do want to just point out one thing, even though they were requesting a variance and BZA did recommend approving it, the sign is actually slightly smaller than the sign that Gitco previously had at the location. And obviously the administration is in support of it as well. The improvements that they invested in the corner have been substantial, and it's going to be a great addition. So I just wanted to extend our appreciation as well.
Thank you. I believe they also have plans for the rest of the corner, heading towards center as well. So probably won't be the last time you see him. Can we get a motion to approve that?
Motion by Asbury, second by Longino. Call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Selby.
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Ordinance number 54-25.
Is an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Ascendance Trucks to purchase a stainless steel spreader for the salt truck in the service department and declaring an emergency.
A motion for suspension by Smith, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Selby.
Yes.
Fluharty.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Asbury.
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee.
Motion for third and final by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. As mentioned, this is for a new spreader for one of our salt trucks. The salt truck in question was brought out of service latter part of last winter. This spreader is completely rotted. This is from a 2006 vehicle. So our plan is to replace the actual spreader. The vehicle still has life left in the vehicle, approximately, most likely at least another 7 to 8 years. At which point, when that vehicle is replaced, we can relocate this spreader onto the newer vehicle. This is also in comparison to purchasing a new salt truck and spreader. Those costs range between $185,000 and upwards to $200,000, and they're years out until you would receive them. For instance, over the last 2 years in 2024, and then we'll have a second salt truck going into service this year. Those pieces of equipment were ordered in 2022 and 2023. So there is a significant delay, but we're looking at from a cost savings approach. We don't necessarily need a full new salt truck right now. We just need to replace the spreader, and we can have that other vehicle back in service for this winter.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Ordinance number 55-25.
An ordinance to levy assessments for delinquent water bills in the city of Bedford and declaring an emergency.
A motion for suspension. Spinks, second by Salvi. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith. Mike or Jennifer?
Thank you, Mayor. Before you is a list of 54 persons that have delinquent water bills, totaling approximately $50,000. I'm asking for council's approval in order to get these certified to the tax bills for next tax bills, next 2026.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Ordinance number 56-25.
Is an ordinance to levy assessments for removal of weeds, tall grass, and trees and related items on various lots in the city of Bedford and during the year 2025 and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Spinks, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith. Jennifer?
Thank you, Mayor. Similar to the last ordinance, this is a list of 75 parcels that have not paid their grass cutting bills from last year, totaling approximately $35,000. I'm asking that you allow me to get this certified to their tax bills for next year.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Ordinance number 57-25.
Is an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Motorola Solutions to purchase 10 800 radio systems through the State of Ohio Government Contract Program for the Police Department and declaring an emergency.
Can I have a motion for suspension? Second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Motion for third and final by Asbury, second by Smith. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. The police department is in the process of acquiring new radios throughout the entire department, which will allow us to transition over to the new 800 radio system. We're the only ones currently not on that system. It has been a project that we've been working on for a couple of years now. We were able to secure a grant with partnership with Cuyahoga County. They were the lead entity. That grant award was north of $85,000, and it is going to fund all portable radios for all of our officers. However, you still need to have stationary radios in all of the vehicles in our fleet. This year we obtained a grant for 2 new police cruisers, and part of that grant also included upfitting those cruisers. We purchased 2 radios, new 800s, in advance out of that grant. That leaves 10 left that we need to purchase that will go into the remainder of the cruisers, as well as our animal ward and other staff members. and this is the remainder amount. And as John mentioned, the Motorola, they did provide the government contract securing the lowest quote possible.
And I believe the 800 system will allow them to talk to neighboring departments and actually almost across the state. So communication is always number one thing you want to have at these incidents with the police or fire, so good job on that. Call a roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Ordinance number 58-25.
Is an ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to enter into a contract with ABC Piping Company for the repair of an existing a water main feed line in the fire department and declaring an emergency.
Motion for suspension by Asbury, or Longino, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty? Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Motion for third and final by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Mike?
Thank you, Mayor. As John mentioned, this is the replacement of the main water feed line that goes into the fire department and the station. This is replacing the original line, which at the time, what was installed was a galvanized pipe. Over the last few years, that pipe has had a number of different breaks that staff have worked internally to make those repairs. Unfortunately, right now, given the amount of corrosion, it needs to be replaced. We budgeted for this replacement during the 2024 budget to get that done this year. And we did secure 3 quotes from 3 separate companies. ABC Piping is the lowest of the 3. They've recently also performed work with the city starting in 2023 and 2024 when we did our boiler replacement project. They are a reputable company and we recommend awarding them this contract.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Ordinance number 59-25.
This would be an ordinance amending ordinance number 44-24 passed last year concerning section 911.01 entitled Water Rates of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bedford as related to the water rates we are charging residents and declaring an emergency.
And it's our wish to put that on first reading. I have a motion for such by Fluharty, second by Spinks. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Salvi?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Ordinance number 60-25.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance amending ordinance number 50-24 concerning section 911.02 entitled Sewer Rates of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Bedford as related to sewer rates charged residents and businesses. Businesses are also part of the the previous ordinance, and declaring an emergency.
Again, we want to put that on first reading. Can I have a motion for such by Smith, second by Asbury? Mike or Jennifer, you want to just touch on these real quick while we're on first reading?
For water rates, proposing, let me go back to that, because basically, for a master meter community, City of Cleveland is raising their rates starting in actually 2025. So the rate for 2025 was 2.5%, rate for 3.5%. 26 was 3.75%. So I'm blending those rates for 2026 to be 3.63%. So it's only the rate increase from water, City of Cleveland water distribution that is raising the rates. For the sewer rates, as Mike's been talking about many times about being in negotiations with the EPA, as part of that, we're having to raise the water rates. So this year, for next year, we're proposing another 10% increase. This year was also 10%.
On the sewer rates.
On the sewer rates.
Okay. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Ordinance number 61-25.
Yes, it's ordinance amending ordinance number 43-24 concerning codified ordinance 911.03 entitled Rate Reduction for Disabled Persons and Senior Citizens for Water and Sewer Discounts, declaring an emergency.
Again, it's our wish to put this on first reading along with the other two so they stay compatible. I have a motion for first reading by Spink, second by Fluharty. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
And ordinance number 62-25.
There is an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into two purchase agreements with Buckeye Homes LLC for the purchase of vacant lots located at 132 Greencroft Road and 172 Grand Boulevard in Bedford, and declaring an emergency so they can put up some manufactured homes. I think that's the word, if I'm using it correctly.
Motion, yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Motion for suspension by Longino, second by Smith. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. Motion for third and final. Spink, second by Fluharty. Mike,
Thank you, Mayor. Correct, these are two properties that the city of Bedford has owned. The purchase price is the valuation per the county. One of them was valued at, I believe, $5,000. The other lot was valued at $2,000. We'll be selling those. The intent, the builder will be building two homes on each of those sites. They are pre-manufactured, prefab homes. They're not mobile homes, they have a full foundation. Square footage, I believe the renderings we saw was between, I think they were about 1,700 square feet. They intend to list them for about $215,000.
yeah, be nice addition to the neighborhood. Call the roll, please.
Spinks?
Yes.
Selby?
Yes.
Fluharty?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Asbury?
Yes.
Longino?
Yes.
Cochee?
Yes. And now we come to the hearing of citizens. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comment.
Barbara McDaniel, 186 Center Road. The same thing I came about last month. I'm so tired of looking at that mess on the corner. And the tree, the only limb on that tree left is as big as what's filling the yard. And it's right over the sidewalk and in us. It's in the wires, there are about 5 or 6 wires. And it's gonna take the utility pole out too. 45-foot tree is going to make a lot of sparks.
Looking real quickly.
And
I'll give you the exact date real quick.
2 months now.
I agree, and we've been out there, they were given 2 separate notices. We're scheduled to do the last follow-up on the 11th, at which point they'd be cited and are gonna have to appear in municipal court.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm in agreement with you. I see it
I mean, it's
every
a
day,
mess.
all day long. It needs to come down. Like I
Yeah,
told you the
and
last one, we
even-
gave them the initial notice. Since then, we were out, we followed up again, and now if it's not addressed by the 11th, which is next
No,
Monday.
I tried to track it down and you can't find the owner.
Yeah. Well, we'll get it addressed for you.
Yeah.
I just wish it'd be sooner, but we're going
It's
as quickly
driving my
as.
husband nuts. He has start of dementia. He keeps saying, when are they gonna have, when are they gonna-" I've heard that all summer, because he sits on the porch a lot, but. Oh, and thanks to the water department for fixing up that break a few days ago.
You're welcome.
You know, down the street, so that was nice.
Failed valve, I believe place.
Yeah.
So,
But,
thank you. We are making it.
yeah, I hate to be a pest,
You're
but
not.
I'm just, you know, and the people that live there, I feel bad for them. They finally moved to a decent suburb. They're quiet, they're good people. They don't have a big enough chainsaw to cut anything up.
Yeah.
And it's big,
It's a
what's
big
laying here. So,
Thank you.
My name is Daniel Barron. I live at 243 Deborah Lane in Bedford, Ohio. I've been there about 8 years. And starting in April, we had a problem with one person on the street with a loud muffler. I talked to the councilman. He said, start document all the time. He said, you hear this guy's loud muffler. And there's been at least 24 times since the middle of June that he has took his car. He lives at the far end of the parkway and went all the way around Deborah Lane so everybody could hear his muffler. Now, you know, my first thing was call the police every time I hear the muffler. And I said, I'm tired of wasting the police time. So what Jeff said was document instead of calling. And what I got is a set of documents for the city manager. Here you go. 3 police reports involved and the mayor.
Thank you.
Now, I've been dealing with Lieutenant Kellerman since April on this. He has come up to the conclusion that the city ordinance noise, this car is in specs with it. But the way I look at it is if a cop pulls him over, what they does him over here, tells this guy, step on the gas pedal, it'll go over 8.5 decibels. So I don't know what you guys can do about it.
I can talk with you after if you'd like.
What's that?
If you want, I can talk with you afterwards if you want to. Just
Yeah, I'd like to.
I'm familiar with it and I can share.
I mean, Lieutenant Kellerman, I mean, went round and round Friday. He called me finally after 2 weeks chasing him around. And I kind of blew up on him. And I told him, I says, he's just looking the other way since the owner of the car works for the city of Bedford.
Wow.
I'm not saying no names here, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I would, if you want to stick around afterwards, I just want to, I mean, for the record, we absolutely did not and are not looking the other way. I could go over some specifics of what we've done. I'm familiar with it. I spoke with Lieutenant Kellerman Friday, and by no means, you know, the city doesn't, never has, as long as I've been in this position, show preferential treatment. But I can chat with you after.
All I'm saying is I've been living on Deborah Lane for 8 years, and all of a sudden this April, this guy gets his muffler on. I confronted his parents. He wouldn't come to the door, so I had to talk to his parents. You know, even if the guy's 19. And I said, is there any way you can put a quieter muffler, or at least tone it down in the neighborhood? And if you look at that thing, you can see that there's been almost 24 times since the middle of June that he pulled out of his driveway, and he could have just pulled back in, but he decided to go around the cul-de-sac and gun his engine. I got 2 videos that I sent Lieutenant Kellerman. Okay? And I don't know what else to do.
I can talk with you after if you'd like.
Okay. But I wish they would change the ordinance to where the noise, you know, even the officers that came to my house, they said, yes, it's a loud muffler, but there's nothing to do about it with the city ordinance. Now, I lived in Lakewood for 7 years. They had a city ordinance that if you heard a loud noise 2 houses across the street, the cops could come in and cite you. Which was kind of ridiculous because, you know, I mean, that's a ridiculous, I even told the officers that's a ridiculous law when I heard about it, you know. But that's what the city of Lakewood passed, you know. But, you know, there's one noisy muffler on the street. And I live 3 doors down from him, and I can hear him clear as daylight. I mean, he's woken me up a couple times when I didn't have to get up in the morning. And, you know, his father says, oh, it's a legal car of emissions, that we just have to deal with the noise, and you shouldn't have to. And I got 3 or 4 other neighbors that are afraid to confront this house because of the way they treat people on the street. And that's one of my police reports, that she caught me on garbage collection day. She rode down the street, started swearing at me, telling me that I got the police involved, that I'm gonna regret it. You shouldn't have to live in a neighborhood like that. I'll talk to you after.
Thank you.
You want me to go up that way, or do you want me to speak?
If you could speak up, Orlando, and,
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
yeah.
Orlando Rosario, 257 Deborah Lane. I'm the one that lives close to the cul-de-sac. And like you told Dan, I'll speak to you later, Mike, but it's just annoying when you're sitting there watching TV or trying to listen to the TV or the radio, and all of a sudden you get this about 10 to 9 at night and early in the morning. And I've been there for 20 plus years already, and it's been as quiet as it ever been. And he's right, you can't approach the family because they're unapproachable. They're not budget. So, you know, it's annoying. I'm sorry, but it's annoying. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I'm Mary Ann Bourne DeShaw. I live at 235 Deborah Lane. I'm right next door. And when that car fires up, I have to catch the pictures on my bedroom wall from falling down. Because he parks it. My bedroom window is next to their driveway. And it's getting to be unbearable. I have never called the police before. I've never complained. I've never said anything about anybody. But I have 2 dogs. And he worded up one morning and one dog fell off the couch. Scared the dog so bad. So something has to be done, even, I don't know what. But either that or I'm going to sell my house and move. It's getting that bad.
No, we don't need that. Thank you.
Jay Watson, 40 Berkeley. First of all, I want to thank everybody that's here, that's taking accountability. I agree with you in terms of the problem of dealing with these homes. And that perhaps there needs to be some urgency of going to the state level, trying to get some resources, some laws to try to help deal with some of these home issues, these abandoned homes and absent or, owners. But I'm sure every ward is dealing with it. This is just Bedford, but a lot of communities are dealing with it. But I commend you that you're saying, hey, man, we need to take it to a higher level to get some support. I'd like to request that, as I was driving through the graveyard recently, the graveyard road that is further to the south, that same side where the little baby grave site is for little babies are located at. A lot of the bushes is really encroaching upon the road, and could they look at trying to trim that back, please? I also have noticed, happily noticed, that when I wake up in the morning and take off, I notice that the cars are on the street have been tagged for being there too long, and I appreciate these cars being tagged for just not being off the street when they need to be off the street. Because often I'm seeing where they weren't being tagged, but within the last couple of weeks, I've been noticing a lot of cars being tagged for just overnight parking. And I appreciate seeing the tagging. But I'm also seeing where, particularly this summer, and kids having cars, they just park on the wrong side of the street. I mean, if you're supposed to be parking your car this way, they'll just go ahead and park it this side of the street, and just leave it there and just go in the house. And I'm saying, and it's not just for a few minutes where they just drop off some groceries or whatever, they just leave it there. And I'm saying, this isn't good. This isn't good. But I see a lot of that going. occurring. I'm also seeing where it continues to be where cars are blocking the sidewalks. I wish there were being something done about that. I'm not seeing where cars are being tagged for blocking people's access to the sidewalks. Also, cars being in the front yard. I understand that I have heard from previous council meetings that the cars in the backyard, you're limited in terms of how you might be able to address it with it being in the backyard. But there's many cars that are still just being parked in the front yard, shade tree mechanics or whatever, just left there. I'd like to see that being done. And speaking of front yards, I'm very happy the Garden Club recently took the time they do yearly to put signs out about people who are taking time to beautify their front yards. I would like to encourage, and I will make contact with the Garden Club. There's many more homes that should deserve signs as well. And I would hope that they would take the time to create or go through the expense of making more signs, because I saw a lot of homes that, in my perspective or view, deserve to have a sign saying thank you for what you have done to show pride in your home and your community. But also, there's many homes that have chosen to make their front yard a junk bazaar. And that is saying very nicely. I mean, it's just horrible. I mean, they just got all kinds of things in their front yard, along with weeds and whatever contraption, and it's an eyesore. There's a couple of places I drive by, and what they have chose to do is hang their clothes to dry in the front yard across their porch. And I'm saying, but you got this beautiful backyard, and you just hang their clothes on the front porch, And I'm saying, this isn't right, So, like I said, we're having some people who are really taking pride in doing some wonderful things, and I want to encourage that. But we got many homes, or I'm not sure, it could be because, as you were saying, lack of ownership, taking responsibility to say whoever's there, you got to be responsible for this community. But yeah, we got a lot of bizarre front yards that just look horrible. My next thing is about safety. I'm concerned because there has been more and more news about police being attacked, being killed, being shot. And I'm concerned certainly for the police that live there protecting my community. I'm certainly hoping that we're doing everything we can to support our police department, because when I'm seeing a lot of these police officers just sitting in the parking lot enjoying a pizza, hey, ambush. Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, just ambush. But then I'm also seeing on the other side where, as you were saying, you took some steps at the Red Burn Off and the Strawberry Festival. And part of that to ensure safety is because there's a growing concern about people come together, have a good time, and those who come together just to have a bad time. And if you don't send a message that we will not tolerate that, or we're going to try to let you know we're watching you, it will go crazy. So I appreciate your efforts, but I'm saying we got to do a whole lot more. And when I'm talking about safety, I'm concerned also, as you were saying, school's going to start. There is news reports over the years of where people driving cars have no regard for the bus. They just drive around it, don't care about the kids getting off the bus. I'm seeing, particularly going down Columbus, there'll be a school crossing guard. I'm stopping. The people behind me are all upset because I'm stopping to let these kids go across. I mean, they're honking their horn and going around me and the bus, the crossing guards out there with the sign, and they have no regard. I'm hoping the police can have more of a presence, because last year I saw often, and I spoke about it, where the Bedford High School, it's a speedway. There's no concern about the traffic lights saying, hey, it's a school zone. People are just in a hurry, And if you're trying to drive slow and obey it, they go around you or honking the horn. But I am concerned about school starting and the safety for our children in our community. Because many of our children in our community, when they're going across the crosswalk, what they're doing is this. They're not paying attention, they're looking at their phone. And they're hoping that hopefully those who are driving the car are going to be concerned and slow down. Unfortunately, many of those people who drive the car are looking at their phones also. And I'll just leave it at that, but I thank you, and hopefully, if you think there's something I could do to try to make the community a better place, I'm happy to listen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bob Dietrich at 137 Salmon Circle. I first wanted to thank the service department for the excellent job they do on the streets on that. People see me and my dog here all the time. It's nice. Aside from vacant buildings on that, which hopefully will be filled sometime on that, it's just a pleasure to walk up that street on that. I have questions as to whether or not the city had had an opportunity to look at the hedges off that street right up West Grace before we come to the railroad tracks. On that, again, that's one of the places I come around a lot up and down that hill. And even with my Grand Marquis, I literally have to, I know I all the way across the crosswalk area and farther in to be able to see that. And although the hedges themselves look nice, I consider them a safety hazard. And I'm surprised that we haven't heard of accidents there before, because if you're there on that, based on where that curve is on that, I have to be probably like 3 feet almost into the street, and then turn my head around to be able to see where the cars are coming around up that hill, where, obviously the hill after Cherney Road, where it becomes West Grace on that. But I would like to, if the city would just send one of your patrol cars, one of your Grand Marquis there, drive it up there and just let them know about how far they have to go to be able to actually see that, considering that they're going to 35 miles an hour on that. And I guess they could do the math of what the distance is between that and 35 miles and how long it takes on that for them to get to that corner to hit the car because someone couldn't see it on that. The sidewalk next to the tavern off Broadway, on that, I think that the tavern off Broadway should take responsibility to clean that up, particularly on the streets, on the tree lawn there, and also the parkway behind that, because if you walk there, there's nothing but junk. I mean,
We're having, I'd say the last couple months, we've been having some challenges with the municipal lot.
Yeah.
Our staff goes in there and we clean it up regularly. I will share, I think we've identified where the majority of that is coming from. Mm-hmm. We've spoken to the property owners. They're also familiar and they're trying to address it as well. But we're familiar with it, as is the police department's familiar with it. So, but I will.
Thank you.
I made note of it.
That, again, that goes to another point there about the crosswalk on Broadway. On that, I'm there 3 days a week on that, and I still see cars that simply don't grasp the fact that when it says crosswalk and the blinking red yellow light, it means you're supposed to slow down or stop on that. I don't want to have to jump into the street. I don't want to be going to jump in the street, get hit, so people said, oh, I wish I hadn't done that. Again, that's, I hate to say that we should have a police car waiting there to ticket someone, but if there was some way that they could give people a reason to slow down on that, that would be helpful. And one other question.
I will add that we did have staff check a couple other communities who recently upgraded crosswalks. We got a quote to upgrade that crosswalk when it was first put in communities that have like a downtown district, and it's always flashing. Well, the habit is when something's always flashing, you tend to lose the importance of paying attention. What is what the communities look at now is you actually activate it, and it's almost like a strobe when it's needed. It proves to be more effective. To upgrade our crosswalk, don't hold me to it, we got a quote about 2 to 3 months ago. I think it was just under $40,000 to do that. We did apply for grant funds because it was included in our TLCI study, as well as some other low-hanging fruit of improvements. One was the crosswalk, one was installing the sidewalk on Taylor, which will incorporate another grant that we have pending. So it's on our radar to try to enhance that. A few years ago, we upgraded the overhead light from a regular old, dull light. That's LED. It's definitely brighter for the evening. But I made a note of it.
I do have a question too about the rate reduction for disabled persons and senior citizens. Aside from being a senior citizen on that, does my mother have to qualify for anything else for that discount? I mean,
I can tell you what the basic guidelines are. It's income based, it's household income. So whoever lives in the house combined, all their income has to be under a certain threshold in order to qualify, and it has to be a single family house.
do you know what that threshold is? Do you have that?
38,000. I think it's right in the ordinance.
It's 38,982.
Okay, all right, thank you
There'll
very
be an
much.
application coming out soon for that,
Okay,
like in probably end of this month.
okay, and that's the combined income of the house?
Combined income for the household, yes.
Okay, and that does not exclude social security, I assume?
That's including social security, it's household income period.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Seeing none? I have a motion for adjournment by Smith, second by Asbury. Call the roll, please.
Spinks,
Yes.
Selby,
Yes.
Fluharty,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Asbury,
Yes.
Longino,
Yes.
Cochee.
Yes. Thank you all for